What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading. Hey, this is not just a regular update video. I'm really not doing the update videos anymore because you know what? Just, bottom line is like, you guys really don't want to know. I mean, it's this, I made this trade, I made this trade. That is not what the purpose of the videos is all about, folks. Today, what we're going to be talking about is, this is the beginning of our series on the 20 trade challenge. What's a 20 trade challenge? And let me ask you this. If I could tell you, if you could be persuaded that in just 20 trades, yes, 20 trades, that you could be on the road to becoming a profitable trader, would you believe it? Hey, stick around to find out some more, folks. But anyway, this is what we're going to be doing. Again, it's the series on the 20 trade challenge. What's a 20 trade challenge? Before we get to the charts, folks, and again, you can see the chart right here. The chart is right here. What is a 20 trade challenge? It is very, very simple. It's this. You trade a single SPY contract if you trade SPY, trade SPY. If you trade something else, trade a single contract, a single futures contract, a single share of stock, or whatever it is that you trade. Now, this is for the people that need a refresher on trading, or if you are presently struggling. If you're presently struggling as a trader, please, please, please check out the 20 trade challenge. Again, what is it? Well, it's very simple. You trade a single SPY contract for 20 consecutive trades. So for those 20 consecutive trades, you do not break your rules at all. Again, you just follow your trading plan 100%. You follow your exits. You follow your entries, you follow your exits. Every single thing about that trade or about your plan, you must follow 100%. So here's the cool thing. If you break one of your rules on entries, exits, or whatever, guess what you get to do? You get to start over from the first trade. Why do you start over from the first trade? Well, you're trying to ingrain really, really good trading habits, not bad ones. So again, you're going to start over. Now, also what you're going to do is if you break your rules or change any of the variables, you're done trading for the day. Why? Well, it keeps you from revenge trading. Well, what do you mean? Well, I mean, you've been there, folks. If you've been trading for any amount of time, you've revenge traded before. Most, I would say 99.9%. I just made that statistic up on the chart. It's 100% of people. 100% of traders have revenge traded at some point in their trading career. It's just a reality, folks. You talk to any trader out there, they will all tell you the same thing. So that is why, again, if you break your rules during the trading day, you're done. You're done for the day. But let's take it a step further. Again, we're talking about trading a single SPY contract. Generally speaking, when we're talking about a single SPY contract, we're talking about a contract of a 0.5 delta for calls and negative 0.5 delta for puts. Why? Well, because we pretty much know what's going to happen. If you get that first dollar move, it's 50 cents or whatever. But for the purposes of the first 20 trades, on the 20 trade challenge, you're going to trade a single SPY contract or whatever contract, but you're going to trade several spots out of the money. So why do we do that? Well, number one, it's because we're trying to ingrain those good trading habits, and it's not about the result of the trade, but rather the process. Now, there are different schools of thought out there. One school of thought says paper trade. You can paper trade, and you can do this for several months until you kind of get the hang of it. I disagree with that. And I disagree with that because there are zero emotions or no real trading emotions involved or associated with a paper trade. There's nothing that's really on the line. Well, I just traded 1,000 SPY contracts and I made $17 million today. That is not based in reality, okay? So again, trade a single contract. It could be a $10 contract. It doesn't matter. You want to put real money on the line. Now, here's how we're going to do this. We're going to trade a single SPY contract for 20 consecutive trades. That's right, without breaking our rules or without changing the variables. Now, if you can do that for 20, and you will be able to do that, it will take you time. I've never known a single person to get through that 20 trade challenge. If you're being honest with yourself, to go through that 20 trade challenge the first time without making a mistake. Generally speaking, everybody does, folks, whether it's 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, however long it takes, that is absolutely how long it's going to take. It doesn't matter how long it takes. But again, we're going to do that single SPY contract way out of the money. So even if every single one of the 20 trades goes against us, it doesn't hurt us financially. So what that's going to do, again, it's a small amount, but it's real money. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us to execute better without the fear of losing money. So if you have some trading scar tissue right now, this is going to be really, really good for you. Again, forget all the bad habits. Put the bad habits kind of behind you. They're in the rear view mirror. The windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a very, very specific reason. We're looking forward, not back. Okay, so again, single SPY contract. Now, when you can do that for 20 consecutive trades, and again, you must be honest with yourself. It is 100% about the rules. It is not about the result. When you can do that for 20 consecutive trades, what you're going to do is you're going to move up. So you're going to move up. Don't go up to multiple contracts at this point. Just move up on the options chain. If you need to move up a couple of spots, that's fine. If you need to work into that 0.5 delta, but most of the time, if you've completed the 20 trade challenge, 20 consecutive trades where you follow your rules. And I'm not talking about 20 consecutive green trades. That's just not based in reality, folks. That's not based in reality at all. But again, 20 consecutive trades where you follow your rules 100%, you move up. Move up to a 0.25 delta. Move up to a 0.5 delta. Now, when you can do that again successfully 20 trades in a row. Now, that first 20 trade set, your P&L doesn't matter at all, even at the end. Because generally speaking, you're so far down in the options chain where even if it gains considerable value, you could still lose money. But you are trading or training yourself to get in when you're supposed to, get out when you're supposed to, and not get out prematurely. Again, that's what we're training ourselves to do. The market tells us when to get in, so please, please, please allow the market to tell you when to get out of your trade. So there you go. Now, once you've done it, move up to 2 contracts. Okay, so again, you're going to go from way out of the money to 0.5 delta, and then to 2 contracts, and then to 3, and then to 5, and then to 7, and then move up to SPX. But do not move up until you can successfully execute 20 trades in a row, again, without breaking your trading plan. And again, you have to be honest with yourself. Seriously, be honest with yourself. When's the last time that you went 20 trades in a row without breaking your trading plan? And again, that's what it's all about. If you break your plan, if you break your rules on that 19th trade, you go back to number 1. Now, here's the kicker. You've got to log every single one of your trades. Every single one of your trades must be put down in some sort of a trade journal. If you guys want a trade journal, send me a message. I'll email you a very, very simple rudimentary trade journal that you can use. Now, as an aside, what you're going to do also is keep a trade diary. So your trade journal gives you the metrics the things that we can measure, right? The time of the trade, the date, the lot number, all of these different things, the P&L, all of those different things. Also, the length of time in your trade is obviously, it's very, very important. Okay, again, so you're going to go 1, you're going to go out of the money, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, SPX. Now, the last part of that trade journal is the P&L. That is the least important part. And I know you might be screaming at your screen right now, the P&L is important. No, it's not. Your P&L, I'm here to tell you right now, your P&L, your profit and loss, is not important. If you're watching this video right now, it's because maybe you've been struggling as a trader. Guys, seriously, trust me on this. Start over, go small, 20 trade challenge. The length of time or the amount of time that it takes you to become a consistently profitable trader does not matter. But again, leave the bad habits in the past. Seriously, you're not going to get this overnight. You didn't get the bad habits overnight. You're not going to get rid of them. But trade small, trade smart. Now, let's talk about, so my group today, a bunch of the folks in my group today, we decided that we were going to start the 20 trade challenge. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take on the 20 trade challenge. I trade multiple SPX contracts. I trade multiple SPX, and then I go pretty heavy later in the day when contracts are less expensive, when I get a really, really good setup. So I don't trade SPY. I used to trade SPY, but I went back to a single SPY contract with the group to show them how I trade, to show them exactly how I trade. The rules for me are the same as anybody in the group, folks. Again, when my edge presents itself, I'm compelled to put on the trade. When it's time to get out of the trade, I will get out of the trade. My edge presents itself, I'm getting into the trade. If I break one of my rules, my day is over. Now, I'm still going to call out trades the rest of the day. Why? Well, because that's what I do in the group, folks. Every single trade from bell to bell, I talk about. Okay, but if I break my rules, guess what? I have to start over. I'm done trading for the day and I have to start over. So it's the same rules for me as it is for every other person in the group. Now, it's voluntary. They can choose to participate in this 20 trade challenge. If they want to participate in the 20 trade challenge, they certainly don't have to. But again, folks, if you're struggling, at least check it out. At least check it out. Okay, so let's talk about my trades today and the why behind what I did for my trades. And you can see there's a couple of trades in here. Let's talk about that first trade. And again, I do everything real time. I do everything, 100% of everything that I do is real time. And I tell everybody specifically and exactly what I'm looking for before the trade presents itself. That is the only way to be transparent, is say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. If this happens, then I'm going to go into a trade. Then if this happens, I'm going to take myself out of the trade. And again, it's 100% transparency. I have to act like that. I have to be transparent. I mean, that's not acting like that, but I have to be transparent with my group. Okay, so again, let's talk about the trade right in here. First trade, the yellow line, that's calls. The X, that's where I took myself out of the trade. Okay, so the why behind this trade right here. Let's talk about the why behind this trade. And I told the group, I said, yeah, we're trending down, the first, couple of minutes into the trade. Now, the reason I didn't take this is, well, it happened, right before market open. So I'm not taking anything. I'll let let everything play out, wait for a major level, and then take trade based on that. Okay, it pushed down, market pushed down first thing. And as it was pushing down, I said, guys, this is what I'm looking for. I said, I know we're trending down right now, but I'm looking for calls, and here's why I'm looking for calls. Number one, we've got this P. We've got P. It's a pivot point. It's the only pivot point. And then we have a series of support and resistances along the way. But I said we've got P right here. We got pre-market low right here. Generally speaking, or a lot of times what happens is we can take a play directly off of pre-market low. Now, we had the fact that we had the pre-market low and P right next to each other. That said, okay, it's two different levels. So I'm looking at a lot of green lights. What do I mean by green lights? Well, I'm above the 9, I'm above P, and I'm above pre-market low. Now, also at this level, I think it was 18, 599, 18 or so, somewhere right around in here, I saw an area of thin volume. I can't show you that now, only because there was a lot of price action in this area that I would have to go back to, and I'm just not going to do that because it won't make any sense. But again, in real time, I said to the group, I said, okay, guys, if we get above pre-market high, I am getting into calls. But I also saw a couple of red lights in here. I saw the POC, I saw VWAP and I saw the 20. Those are a couple of things right there that we have to breach back to the upside to really, really get cooking. But again, I saw some thin volume up here. My edge was there. My green lights we were above the 9, we're above the P, and we're above pre-market low. There's 3 out of 5, maybe 3 out of 6 because we weren't trending up. So 3 green lights right there got me into that specific trade. My stop was either something like you can see over in here, or it was going to be P. Okay, so again, got into the trade right in here, and then P got in on this candle right here on the close of this candle, pulled back a little bit, pushed up, and then I thought we were going for the 2-day POC up here, and then I thought we were going to push through. It didn't happen. I closed it out here just a few minutes later. I executed my plan exactly how I wanted to execute my plan. And the reason I closed out my trade right here at 957, the close of 957, was because it was a double cross to the downside. I've got green lights going the other way. So again, I had VWAP, a 920, and the pre-market low. I had all of those green lights back to the downside. And I said, you know what? I got to take myself out. I might miss it to the downside, but I'm taking myself out. Again, that's why I closed out the trade right in there. Now, I told the group a couple of minutes later, I said, guys, I'm looking for calls again. And here's specifically and exactly why I'm looking for calls again. We're having a hard time getting really, really strong closes below P. And we still have pre-market low right in here. So if we get a nice strong close over these levels, I'm looking for calls again. And I'm telling them that right in here. So 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes before the trade is there, I'm talking about the setup that I'm looking for. And again, I'm teaching, but at the same time being transparent with my group. And again, come check it out, seriously. But again, this is what we consider to be a golden cross to the upside. I think the POC was right around in here. So it's going to be multiple green lights. So we're above P, we're above pre-market low. And then we had a 920. We had a 9 cross, a 20 cross, which is called a double cross, and VWAP at the same time. Also, we had the POC was in here. The 1 day POC was right around in here. So we had a golden cross. So we had multiple green lights on this specific trade. And I got into the trade, and at that point I said, okay, guys, now, am I looking left? No, not so much. I really don't, yeah, support and resistance is absolutely a thing, but I said, I'm going to trust this thing. I'm going to trust what I'm seeing. Now, here's the cool thing. The closer you are to both your major levels and the 9, the better off, number one, the better you can predefine that risk. Where was my risk on this particular play? Well, right here at pre-market low. So what was my total risk? I got 35 down to 11. I have 24 cents worth of total risk. That's it. That is my entire risk profile on this trade right here. So again, it was a cross back to the upside, a golden cross, if you will. And then it just kind of ran it, pulled back a little bit. Now, what we're looking for, generally speaking, on these pullbacks, you have to be aware of multiple things. You always have to be aware of where your 9 is, and you have to be aware of where your 1 minute support is. You have to be aware of your, like a 2 day POC. That's kind of the ultimate support right here. Also, you got 1 minute support right over here. But at the same time, I'm also watching volume profile. And again, you're not going to see anything on volume profile because we had a lot of volume that was poured down or laid down at these levels. So right around in here, I'm cranking along. We're going up a little bit. We get this little bitty pullback. And then a couple minutes later, here's what I said to the group in here when I opened up this trade. I said, guys, I'm looking for about $1 move out of this golden cross. That's generally what we get. So this basically 599, 35, 36, 37 takes us to pre-market high. And we're cranking along. And then I started looking at the group chat. And I missed my exit. Here. I'm like, oh. So then I said, you know what? I'll ride this thing back down to the 2 day POC and see if we can get a move back to the upside. And at that point, it started moving down pretty good. So I had to close the trade. That was my last trade of the day. So why was it my last trade of the day? And I asked the group, I said, guys, I missed my exit. Does missing a planned exit, does that count as breaking your rules? And somebody, and basically in the group, they said, well, you know what? You just missed an exit. It doesn't really mean you broke your rules. And I said, I think it kind of does. So I think I kind of broke my rules up here. Again, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for a push through. Now, had it pushed through back to the upside, we use this as support, wait for the 9, and then go back up to our next level. But again, the fact that it just kind of wicked off that area and pulled back, that was my exit. I should have taken myself out of the trade. So again, pulled back and got out right in here. So those are the 2 trades that I took today. Did I follow my rules the first time? Yes, the entry was good. The entrance was good also. Again, because I was looking for a little bit of movement back to the upside. I trusted some things, and we got that death cross to the downside. Did I trust did I make a good entry over here? I think I got a really, really, really strong entry right here. It was the entry that I was looking for back to the upside. But then again, I missed the trade. I missed my exit here. So again, I broke my rules. I'm starting over from trade number 1. Let's talk about some of the other setups during the day, folks. We'll talk about those here real quick because there were some really, really, really nice setups throughout the day. And let's talk about those. Again, there are 4 different specific ways that we can play the 920 crossover strategy. If you're interested in that, I made a video about the 4 different powerful setups for the 920 strategy. Go and familiarize yourself with those. So again, we had all of these plays right in here. It's an uptrending day. Look at these. We had a move directly off of this pre-market low. Okay, we had fishtail plays. We had moves where we breached specific levels. And these were all day long, folks. Look at these plays. Again, we play the 920, but we play them off of major levels. The closer you are to your major level, and the closer you are to your 9 when you put on that trade, the better you can predefine your risk. We have to predefine that risk, but look at these plays all day long. It looks like it's a little bit choppy, but bottom line is it wasn't choppy. These are really, really nice plays. These are very, very nice plays. These are so good back to the upside all day long. All day long. Now there was one specific trade. Here it is. Let me go with this trade. Again, 1442. So a little bit of time left in the day. What do we have left in the day at this time? An hour and a half or so, hour and 20 minutes, somewhere right around in there, hour and 40 minutes. we were moving back to the downside. And if you're looking at this chart right here, I know a lot of people, I know what they're thinking. What they're basically thinking is, oh, well, you're making a lower low over there. You need to be looking for puts. No, you're looking at your major levels. You're looking for a bounce at your major level. Look what it did earlier at pre-market low here and here. So again, the fact that we moved lower doesn't mean anything. It just means that we're looking for support right down here and then a move back to the upside. We're trying to find buyers to push it back up. We're not looking for puts. We're not looking for puts anywhere in here, folks, until right in here late in the day. So again, bounce off this pre-market high back to the upside. We had a couple of our members that took this because I said it was setting up. I said, guys, look for a bounce off a pre-market high. And then it's happening. I said, we've got a really nice buyer's tail on the bottom, folks. Again, we tested that pre-market low. Buyers came in and pushed this thing back up. We tested the 9, tested the 20 down here, but we had support, and then it ran up through this R1. We had another Sadie ATR up here to 601.11. But anyway, it punched through a really nice trade. Now, here later, we had this same setup, but maybe it was a losing trade. But again, we execute when we're supposed to execute. Now, the fact that we failed, we had a failed auction up here, and then we had a double cross to the downside, and then got a candle close below that pre-market low. Predefine your risk and then take it back to the downside again if you're playing really late in the day. But anyway, that is how it went today. Again, we're going to start over tomorrow. We will start over. Now, here's the thing. 20 trades. I said it earlier. What if you could take 20 trades and become a better trader, or 20 trades to better profitability or profitability? What would you do? If I told you could do that with 20 trades, would you do it? Why would you not do it? I mean, that's my question, folks. Why in the world would you not do that? So anyway, folks, that's the thing. So come check us out. Anyway, hey, you guys know the thing. If you like our videos, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to leave us a comment and all that kind of good stuff. And again, share it with your friends, neighbors, trading community, all of those folks. Now, if you're interested in the 20 trade challenge, and seeing everything live and going through every single one of these setups, And again, folks, I'm telling you these trades, before it sets up, I'm telling you the why, whether I'm in the trade or looking for the trade or not, I'm talking about these setups. So again, if you're interested in that live daily trading, head on over to our live trading Discord. Guess what it's called? It's called 920 Trading. We are so convinced that you're going to find a tremendous amount of value in what we do. Guess what? First week is on us. No charge to you, no cost to you whatsoever, with the exception of your time. Why would you not do it? Do you want to be a better trader? Seriously, do you want to be a better trader? I can help you. I can help you become a better trader. Now, if you're interested in the entire strategy, including the 20 trade challenge, including everything about the 920 crossover strategy that I teach and that I talk about every single day, folks, head on over to 920trading.com. The entire strategy is there for the world to see. Everything is there, folks. It's soup to nuts, A to Z. It's there. The 20 trade challenge, the rules, all of it is lined out, folks. So again, what do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing. Anyway, folks, hey, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today. Again, folks, 20 trade challenge. We're going to have updates throughout the week to see kind of how we do, with the 20 trade challenge. We're starting back over again tomorrow, only because I messed up on the exit. And I have to be consistent. I have to be honest with not only myself, but with the group. I missed my exit. I'm starting back over tomorrow. But anyway, folks, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. But above all else, I hope you followed your trading plan today. So have a great rest of the day, folks. And you guys know the rest. Until the next time, we will see you in the markets.